It's yeah, it's a splattering of 4 different subjects. It's 4 years. She has a little bit of philosophy. She has a little bit of literature, that is the arts. She has economics. She has business. She has management. And all in one diploma.
Okay,
It's very interesting.
relevance, huh?
All relevant. She said it's the first time that it's offered.
Yeah.
And I told her, she's graduating this March. And originally from Paraguay.
Okay.
And then she said, I'm going back to Paraguay because Paraguay is a very small country, but it has a lot of culture, but it's unknown to the world. So the first thing I'm going to do is to propagate my culture to the world. And that is one part. And on the other side, she said, my parents are opening a restaurant. So I will adopt my management skills, how to run the restaurant. In other words, and then she wanted to, because I told her I was also in leathercraft, in fashion. Then she showed me some of the fabrics that are made beautiful, very colorful. She said, maybe I can send you some of these artifacts, and then you can do something. We can do something together. So it's across the seas, across boundaries. A 20-year-old girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. With vision, huh? She's an
vision.
entrepreneur.
Already.
She's living her applied beliefs already.
And this is what I'm saying. It is a totally new university degree.
Wow. Which university is this?
University of Navarre.
Navarre. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities to really design our own curriculum.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So she said the days of very specific is over. Like you're an economist, it's a silo. You're an accountant, it's a silo. So they offered this.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of takeout for them.
But because it's very applied.
It's relevant. It's very relevant.
It's relevant. Yeah.
Because she says, I just was thinking everybody is talking about wellness, mental state, wellness. But I told her the first thing that you apply is go to the well of your interiority.
Wow, the well of your interiority. Do you all catch that?
Because you talk about these buzzwords, no? Wellness, mental state, well-being. What do you really want? But if you go into your own well, you will see what you will see.
Wonderful, Bernie. Bernie is 225. Some people have onboarded, like Chimin, right? Chimin from Japan. Hello. I have noticed you're coming on board. We are because Bernie, when Bernie speaks, you'll have to listen and write every single sound verbatim, okay? She's speaking from a well of knowledge and well of wisdom, okay?
No. It's just that sometimes you're so exposed and you pick up ideas here and there, but then the practical thing is, how do you apply it? Because as a coach, you hear all these words. For me, they become live when you know how to discover the meaning.
So for everybody who is just kind of jumping in, the first half an hour we were really just waiting for everybody to settle in, and then but I think Bernie, we just start our dignity exploration. What do you think?
I think dignity is finished, right?
We did identity, and then its identity is done, but dignity. But I don't know where the children's garden home youths are. If not, we can work with identity again. Because let's do that, because this group that I'm seeing here have not been exposed to the first milestone. So we can do that very quickly. Well, then when the whoever comes on board by like 2:45, we can shift into dignity.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Min Kant is from?
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me here. So my name is Chi Min. Yes, I'm from Myanmar originally, but I've been in Japan for quite some time. It's actually my 6th year of living in Japan. I go to university here. It's called Sophia University in Tokyo, and it's also the place where Professor Manzan teaches at. And I've taken her a couple of courses by her. So yeah, it's nice meeting you, everyone.
And who else is new in this group from Sophia University?
She hasn't arrived yet. She's
and
finishing her class.
Who is Faith? There is a name.
The Kim Leah girls, you can take turns introducing yourselves to Bernie.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Just a quick one.
Just a little bit, no, so don't take too much time.
Linda, you want to start, Linda?
Linda Musanga.
Linda, you're on mute. You have to unmute your microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm Linda Musanga from Kenya, student at Kimlea Girls Technical Training Center. Yeah, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, and the one seated beside you?
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, I'm Christabel Wangari from Kenya, and I'm also a student in Kimlea.
I didn't get your name. Christopher?
Christabel. Christabel.
Christabel.
Christabel, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Introduced before. Next.
And then there's another one that
Hi.
Lee Winner.
Hi, I'm
No, she's not Lidwina.
Can you unmute?
Hi, I'm Teresia Njoki.
Teresia. Bunny is Teresia.
Teresia, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Kenya, and I'm also a student in Kimlea.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm Beatrice Gazzoni from Kenya, and I am a student at Kimlea.
Okay.
Yes.
How many are from Kimlea for this Zoom?
I think there should be 12. I met 11. Yeah.
11.
Okay, on Montana's channel there is, who is it? I can't really see there. Anybody can jump in to just introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Lidwina, you can jump into anytime.
Beatrice and Joyce.
Beatrice and Joyce on Montana's phone.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Lidwina from Kimlea also. Yeah. But we are not at the same place.
Okay. Faith?
Faith is also from Kimlea?
Yeah.
Can you put your video?
So Kimlea girls and Chimin, this is Bernadette Senzon, who is program director of this program. Okay. So the Kimlea girls have actually met me for 2 hours, but Bernie hasn't met everybody. So we just take some time to do some introductions. Yeah. So there's Faith. Who is in Phoenix Hots? I cannot recognize. You done your hair. Can you introduce yourself, please? If you're in the same place, you will have to mute, okay? To cut off the sound. I will have to mute you if you don't mind, okay? But you can unmute yourself later. Bunny, we're also testing out all the Zoom functionalities. So it's a very good idea if you are at the meetings to really be having your earpieces. It's actually a lot more functional. So because now with COVID and the business world and the world really has really gone into Zoom. So one of the skills we really have to be able to master is really on Zoom and essentially the tech. So Maria, I normally have this chat with everybody regarding the tech piece and the commitment to it, you know. So you can't be involved in the world if you are not connected. So one of the things you have to do is make sure you have your own personal phone or connection. If you don't have it, then you let us know, right? Or let somebody know so that we are able to help you access the world better, okay? So this is what this program is about. It's all about empowerment. So number one, telecommunications is the most important. When I had to run during an emergency, the business continuity plan with my the workers on the staff or the team members on the farm, right? We realized how important personal access and telecommunications is, and every one of us actually also have a battery pack. So we can't say that we can't do it because it's like what Bernie had said earlier about relevance in our world now. You really have to be able to be connected. If you think about it, if you are connected, you commit to it, you are in safety. Because if you're not connected, nobody can get to you. Not even get food, not even get water. And in a way, we've all gotten through COVID, but at the midst, when it first started, we couldn't even come close to each other. You know, we didn't know what the risk was. So can you imagine if you didn't have your own phone and commit to having your own SIM card and commit to be able to speak? Now, when we are communicating, right, there's a lot of confidential information that we share with each other, depending on the circumstances, right? Even private information about somebody's details, somebody's health situation. So it's very important that we don't end up broadcasting what the other person is transmitting on the phone to the whole world in our space. And if we are in a shared space and if the technology is giving sound feedback, then we all have to know what is happening and support each other, okay? So waking up to the world, number one, requires waking up to telecommunications technology. Y'all got it? So when I was running a 6 hour from Singapore to the farm in Malaysia, in the highlands, where we didn't have the Wi-Fi, we had to map our walkie-talkie ranges. That's the commitment to safety, and coordinate everyone's movement to get their vaccine and their tests and all that, okay? And one of the other things that happened was their battery ran up to the level of, they couldn't even hold the phone anymore. So things, little things like that, if we learn it all early and put it into our entire persona already, into our identity, if Bernie's going to go on to identity later, right? If you commit to that, you will stay very safe. So we even understood how long a battery is going to charge, and when we run our missions and our work together, right? Which saves lives, by the way, right? We understand the threshold of technology. So that's the technology, okay? And energy. Then number two, essentially is I wanted to talk a little bit about the privacy, right? So this whole program, we just record everything cold. So I've already said to everybody, this program, we just go. Now this is being recorded. After this session, I'm going to load it up onto the YouTube. Now, why are we doing that? We're doing that because whether or not you give permission to somebody to record you, they're going to record you anyway. You can assume that the integrity is going to be so low. Your world and our world is very different, In Bernadette's world, people are even more stricter, okay, about privacy, about what you speak socially or you cannot speak socially. But in this world, if you just leave your house, leave your room, let's say, you can assume that people are already recording you. So this program really addresses that. How do you then hold yourself and hold yourself well, right? And be very aware, like the second you are coming on board, something that has a Zoom screen, that has a camera, okay, you are already being recorded. So how do you then hold yourself, carry yourself, express, and protect yourself even? So for those who were not part of cohort 1, you're in cohort 2. In cohort 1, Sharon is there from cohort 1. Sharon, raise your hand. Yeah, we spoke a lot about protection, you know, personal data protection. So we have to make a commitment to protect each other as well as a global youth steward. Okay, so, and confidentiality of information. It's very, very difficult now. So in the end, we have to either protect ourselves or protect each other. Okay, so these are the two things. Then I think I'm just kind of waiting for everybody to settle in. So earpiece, and when we first started with the other youth stewards, everyone was sitting bunched up like every one of you right now, okay, or some of you right now. By the second session, after we had this little chat, everyone understood how important it is to commit to each of our personal communication, one-on-one, okay? So we hope that by December, we can have each of us being able to represent ourselves, okay, confidently, one-on-one, okay? So that's the target for the Kimlea girls. Okay, so on cohort 1, we had a couple of modality, friendly, and we just go straight to the point. So the point of this program is that we speak heart to heart, you know, and we don't waste time. So we're very pragmatic, we're very idealistic, but we would speak directly to you so that we keep going the momentum, so that your engagement with the global world becomes real when you live it, okay? So Bernie, I'm going to chat already. Okay, over to you, Bernie.
No, I just want to add on with regard to technology. I make it very simple. Before, when you learned, you had to use a ball pen and a piece of paper and a blackboard. Those are your tools of work. So you can't go to the classroom without a ball pen and a paper, right? These are your tools. Now your tools are different. It's not a necessity. It is a necessity. It's not a luxury. So without your tools, which means your mobile phone, the internet, nothing can be done. But having the tool, you also have to have the skill. So these are two separate things. You know, when you're learning something, you're learning how to paint, you're learning guitar, you have two separate things. You have the tool, which means you have to have the right tools, but not having the right tools will not give you the skill. If you use a knife, which is a knife, to cut a piece of cloth, you don't have the tool, you'll never get the skill. So now what I'm trying to drive at is you have to have the tools, which means your mobile phone. Without it, it's impossible to address anybody. And then you also have to have the skill. The skill means you know when to turn it on, you know when to turn it off. So it doesn't take too much to learn the skill. So in the beginning, when we started, there were some who did not have. Remember, they didn't have the Wi-Fi, they didn't have the access. But we said, if you come and you don't have the tools, it's impossible for you to learn. So we're not going to solve your problem because it's not a problem solving Zoom. You come when you have the necessary skills. No, you come when you have the necessary tools. So we don't talk of big words like technology. I simplify again. I just narrow it down to tools and skills. So that is the first thing that I suppose everybody understands what I mean, no? Because yeah, if we come and then there's a lot of difficulty because you don't have the right tools, then it's like going to the class without any writing instrument. I suppose that is much, much more basic than having to talk about technology and communication. I just wanted to emphasize that. No? So I hope that is going to be a challenge for us. You have your battery fully charged, because you cannot come to class without ink on the pen. You're going to take the exam and then suddenly you find out your ball pen has run out of ink. It's like going to the Zoom and you don't have the internet, or you don't have a cable, or you don't have the battery, right? It's a new phenomenon, but this is the way to acquire learning and to acquire knowledge. We are entering into a different stage. So we have to close the page where we used to learn the way we learned. Now we have a new era, which is the technological era. We had the Stone Age, the Iron Age, the Industrial Revolution. Then we have this technological revolution, which is, I think, moving forward, this is going to be the normality of life. Okay, so much for that. So what are we
okay,
today?
We have Rinka. Rinka, hello.
Victor.
Hello.
Rinka from
Rinka.
Japan as well.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's just joined us.
Okay.
Okay. Introduce
a few words about yourself.
Okay. Hello. My name is Rinka, and Rinka is our. Please call me Linka or something like Rin or Rinka. Yeah, anything you want. And I'm from Japan, and also I'm going to the school, Sophia University, which is located in Tokyo. And yeah, I'm studying of applied linguistics, and at the same time also I'm learning social studies in my faculty, English studies. And the last March, I researched about sustainable development and submit my paper to the UNIF with supporting of Maria Dr. Menzon. So I'm really looking forward to join this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Who else wants to introduce, or everybody has introduced those? At least I see the faces and the name.
Yep, Bunny. I think we can start with the formation again if you want.
Okay. Wait a minute.
We have Justin and Sharon from Malaysia as well, so we can talk about the group project later. Yeah. So Justin, you will talk about the editorial board since you're a representative from there, and then Sharon, you will speak to the group regarding the Bilberries Blue Summer School. You see how we throw people into really hot soups. They had no idea that they were going to do that today. So this is part of the program. Okay. All right. So I've given them heads up. So while Bernie is working on identity, they will be scrambling to get together their presentation.
So it's the second phase of the 7 milestone. We started with identity. Everybody knows what identity is all about, because nobody is nameless. Sometimes even dogs have names, right? Nobody is born without a name. So we go past that, because everybody, the usual thing is, I am so-and-so, my name is so-and-so, my family is so-and-so, my name is, is self-evident. But now we go a little step, one step deeper, which means your dignity. There is no lecturing here, just to clarify, there is no, it's not a teaching Zoom. It's more, you have to be the one to reflect and to say what is in your heart at the core, because we are only facilitators. Our role here as mentors, we facilitate, but everything else comes from you. So when we speak, for example, it's not instructive, it's not prescriptive, it's not teaching. More or less, we say facilitators. So this is the second phase, when we say, I throw the word to all of you, and you just speak out whenever you feel like there's an inspiration that comes to your head. When I use the word dignity, what is it that comes to your mind? Anybody can start the ball rolling. It's a big word. It's a big word. It's always challenged, but everybody has a different perspective of what dignity means to them. Also here, we're not going to apply pressure one time. Nobody wanted to talk. So we said, we give you the space. What you want is the space. Okay, you have the space and the time. So it was 20 minutes waiting game. We had 20 minutes until everybody was feeling uncomfortable and nobody was starting until somebody, okay, I start. So I hope we don't have to have the luxury of space for 20 minutes. And somebody also said in our previous session, the only fear is remember Ping An, what Bashima said about fear? Because everybody is afraid of talking. The only fear, she said, is the fear itself. That's by Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, and we are quite cheeky, you know. We were silent for, it was 30 minutes, it wasn't even 20.
That was the first one. Of course, nobody expected it. But the second time, it was already very spontaneous. I don't know, Sharon is here. He can reminisce our first sessions. So we're not going to call out anybody who wants to speak, put their name on the block. No, anybody who feels like something, we will really honor that.
If we forget anything out of all this time we spend together, right? Maybe it's this word choice, you know, that we want to live. So Benny and I and the other stewards, we were saying, do we really want to torture you all about this? And we said to ourselves that we have to, because that's the only way you become stewards, or you can lead your own life, you know. If it's always scaffolded, or if a reward and punishment system is set up, you're not going to internalize this growth of and living of choice.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
At the same time, we have a time limit, no? Because we have other things in the agenda.
Yeah, time is precious.
Yes.
Don't waste time. Go. Jimin, go.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I don't have a specific. I mean, I don't understand. I mean. I don't have this idea of specific definition about dignity, but when you say the word dignity, it reminds me of the expression having dignity and losing dignity. So I think if you have dignity in you, that means you have something that you have, you know, this element or feature in your personality or in you that people find it to be that people find it can be respected. So if you lose the dignity, it means that there's nothing much people can do to respect you because you've done something morally wrong, or maybe you're not being ethical. So maybe that's what it means to lose your dignity. So I think it's very important to have dignity because it has a lot to do with how ethical you are, what kind of moral values you possess. In order for people to respect you.
Okay, that's a very good start. Yeah, you either have it or you lose it, but you can also improve it, right? You can enhance it. You can make it more flourishing. Anybody else? Oh, Justin. Okay. Welcome back.
Benny, Linda is going to speak.
Okay, Lynn, Linda. Okay,
Musanga.
Linda Musanga. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for me, dignity is a big word, which I can say is self-respect.
Yes.
Yeah, dignity is that moment when you have your self-respect, you're respected by others. That is according to your behaviors. Benny, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
I can hear.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I think dignity, having self-respect, people respecting you. Yeah.
Okay. That's similar to what Chiming said, no? You have dignity, so you're respected. Yeah. So one characteristic, it's just one, huh? Is one characteristic of dignity is self-respect. But you know, dignity is very, very wide. You know, it's very wide and very deep. What happens if a person loses her dignity? And how can you lose your dignity, for example? Does an animal have a dignity? Does a dog have dignity?
Teresa, are you speaking? Teresian? Who's... Because if you're speaking, you need to make sure your mic is not on mute. Otherwise, we can't hear you.
Hi, I'm Joyce. So I think you can lose your dignity by, let's say, if somebody insults you and the person tries to make you feel like you are less of a human being, like you're not worth of anything. Yes, I could say that.
But is your dignity lost if somebody insults you? Or is it the person insulting you who loses her dignity?
The person who insults you.
Right. So you still can preserve your dignity regardless.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
So dignity is equivalent to not being insulted?
Yes. From my own perspective, I think a person can, when a person insults you, the person tends to lower your self-esteem or your self-worth. Yeah.
Yeah, it can affect your dignity depending on how you receive the insult. But not all insult can undermine your dignity. Yes or no?
Yes.
Not all the insults.
Yes.
So dignity is much, much, much deeper than not being insulted. What do you think? Yeah, you can add on, you can agree, or you can say, I disagree, or I want to speak more about it. So it's all an interchange. Yes.
Well, for me,
Natasha, we don't see you. Where is you?
Hang on. Let me try logging in again. My video has something wrong again. Let me try logging back in.
Where is your picture?
Let me try logging back in. My video has something wrong again.
Oh, all right. So
we try logging back in.
Okay, so you just speak louder. So what can you contribute, Natasha?
Then she's gone out and in again to try and see if it works.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. This formation session is really for us to just speak our hearts, you know, so there is no right or wrong. So sometimes when you say it out, then you surprise yourself, you know. It's about really getting insight about the subject matter. So just feel free, just flow it as if you're sitting by the campfire chatting. Yeah.
Is dignity detachable? In other words, I can dispense with it, or I can let go of dignity. Is dignity detachable from you as a human person?
May I? I don't think it's detachable. I think it kind of equals to losing dignity, as I was talking about it earlier. So if you lose the dignity, that means you will be, I mean, there'll be nothing for you to be respected by people. That means you'll be in complete isolation. You'll be out of touch with people. I mean, in that case, if you're going to be isolated, like absolutely that is going to be possible, I guess, you know, without having the dignity. But then I think for human beings, we need dignity because we live in a community, we live in a society, we communicate with and interact with people. That means we cannot be in absolute isolation all the time. Yeah, so I think to answer your question, it's not detachable.
Yes. So you said one word which is very, very powerful. You say human being. I asked the next question, earlier question, does a dog have dignity? Does a cow have dignity? Who wants to answer?
Natasha, you're back in. You want to have a go at that?
Yeah.
Natasha.
Yes. I think all living things have dignity. That's how I feel. I think so. So, be it a cow or anybody, I think they do have dignity.
You said something like a cow has dignity?
I think all living things have dignity.
All living things have dignity.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, Bunny. I have the same belief. From very young.
I also agree with her opinion. Because that's me, Rinka. Because everything living has a dignity for me, and it's kind of like similar to the human rights. You know, for me the definition of human rights is more formal one. People said the definition of what is like human rights, and then we call it as human rights.
Yes.
According to the rules. So for me, the dignity, the description of dignity, we call it human rights. But first of all, I think all women have dignity.
Yes.
So I agree with her opinion, Natasha.
So Rinka is linking it to rights, the rights to be living. Yeah, Rinka?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody else? Ellen, anything to add, Ellen? Ellen, you're on mute, Ellen.
Also, was you can imagine. So now, whatever goes to the possibility, no worries. And all these are very important now. Forgiveness, and responsibility. That's why I ask you for the like it. Yeah, everything for every child. Everything I take your life as well.
So dignity of life for every child, like Lion King.
Right? For everything is good. Everything is very powerful, you know. Yeah, that's it.
Like Lion King. You said forgiveness.
You give them a good start.
Pardon? A good start?
Give them a good start and make love.
Give each child a good start.
Yeah. Well, there are no worries.
Hakuna Matata, there are no worries.
So what I am sensing here is everybody without exception has an awareness, right? Has an awareness of dignity. But there are different shades of dignity. For example, animals have dignity. That's true. Every part of creation has dignity. Even corals under the sea have dignity. By the fact that they are here on this planet, they deserve to be respected. That's why we have this climate change. You know, we respect the whales, we respect the sea urchins, we even respect the cockroach. But there are different levels of dignity. And the highest level of dignity is dignity to a human being. That's where the point of departure is. Of course, we have the right to manifest all our respect for the environment. That's what we are saying. No? Dignity is also respect for the environment. But a higher level of respect is respect of the human being. That's why when human rights are trampled, people protest because dignity is trampled. So at the end of the day, somebody mentioned it. It's not a matter of not being insulted. Dignity is to respect the fact that you are alive, that you are a human being. That is the highest point of dignity. Who can challenge that? Because we can say it's good that you exist. That's why I respect you. I don't trample your rights. I don't disregard you because you're in front of me. I respect that you exist. Because if I don't respect you, I don't care whether you exist or not, right? Who wants to add to that? You already mentioned several things, but at the end, it's about your awareness that the other person exists. It's very big. Dignity is very big. That's why we are protesting each time that the human dignity is stepped upon. Because you can see there are prisoners in Siberia, in isolated, no matter how much torture they receive, but they still maintain their dignity. Yeah. It's not because you're insulted or you're tortured that you acquire less or more dignity.
Bernie, you're saying that the dignity, our own dignity, each of our own dignities, right, is determined by ourselves, right?
By yourself, and
regardless of the circumstance, right?
Yes.
Because even if you're tortured, you can still maintain your dignity. So this is the highest level.
Yes.
And what you're saying is to understand that is because you understand that you are a human person.
Yes.
And it's actually treasuring the gift of that, isn't it?
The gift of life.
The gift of as a human person,
as a human
highest gift, you know.
Yes,
because you didn't come as a cockroach or you didn't come as wind. I think like that. Okay, because I think of everything as living, right? So you could have come as wind or rain, you know, but we came as human beings. And if we do, then the whole entire faculties of ourselves as a human being is a mystery and a wonder, you know, that we cannot take for granted. And if we don't take for granted, that is the beginning of our dignity. The joy and the gratitude that, wow, I'm a human person, you know. So I for me, it's how do we strengthen that, right? For Bernie, so that's what she's saying.
It's everybody understands it, but very few people can articulate what dignity is all about. But everybody feels when human dignity is trampled, you know, when it's stepped on. Everybody, even a baby, when a mother, for example, slaps her on the cheek, the baby will remember it for life. Because it's in our genetics. So it cannot be detached from us. The awareness of our human dignity is in our genetics. The dog does not have that genetical awareness. So the pig doesn't have that genetical awareness. Because we are human beings. That's why somebody mentioned that, no? The human being. So the awareness that we are a human being is our highest form of dignity. Now, my next question is, how do you lose your dignity? Yourself, no, not from the outside. We already said that you can be insulted, you can be tortured, and still your dignity is intact. But how do you undermine your own dignity?
Wow, Bernie, that's a very powerful question. It's self-destruction in some ways. Right?
Danny?
Can we hear from others? How do you...
Can I?
Yes.
Can I try?
Yes, very good.
When you think, I think when you lose your dignity is when you forget that people exist and you start forgetting that we are all equal and how can I say that? When you forget that people exist and you think you're the only thing that you see, like you're on your own path, you don't consider others, you see, and when you lose also your respect, also obviously you lose others' respect, you know. So in that commotion, you'll also lose your dignity.
Very good, very good. So I just paraphrase it. You lose your dignity when you only think of yourself.
Yes.
Who agrees with that, or who wants to say much about that? You lose your dignity, she said, when you forget other people exist.
Yeah.
When you only follow your own path.
Yeah. Because I think there's a saying that is being said that no man is an island. So nobody can live alone, you know.
Very good.
So we all need people. And through all those people, that is where we gain our dignity.
Very, very deep, huh? When you are with other people, when you think of other people, you
gain your dignity from them.
You gain your dignity.
Yeah.
Or you enhance your dignity.
True, true.
Has anybody thought of another angle of how you lose your dignity? She said, you only think of yourself, you lose your dignity. And you think of others, you gain your dignity. True, 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 true. Fully agree.
So I think you lose your dignity when you don't value yourself enough, such that you don't care what you do, you don't care the consequences, as in you don't mind about the things that you choose to do.
So is self-respect, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, another word for it is you respect yourself.
But it has a slight nuance, you know. She said value, you know.
Yours is even bigger. It's bigger than self-respect.
It's bigger than respect. You value yourself.
You value yourself. You value yourself, or you don't value yourself enough.
Yeah.
Litwinus is about service. It's very powerful. The identity is already linked to other people.
Yes. What happens now? We are in COVID. We don't have interaction with other people. No man is an island. So if I follow you, so we are losing our dignity because we don't have much contact with other people. True or false?
Not true.
Not true.
Yeah,
because
even if you're at home, you still have we are having Zoom meetings.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
We are not into contact. You're very far from me.
Yes.
I'm very far from you. That doesn't mean the way I'm talking to you and the way you're talking to me, that also defines my dignity and your dignity, you know? So I don't think that even if we have COVID and everyone is at home, we are also interacting with our families and we are also having Zoom meetings, so that won't lower your dignity.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're also relating with others, and mind you, the way you talk and the way you handle yourself, that is how people take you and define you, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Just like they say, self-respect and value.
Yes, respect and value.
Yeah.
So another angle here, dignity is no man is an island, not literally, but no man is an island means that you have to make possible communicating with other people.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Montana, you want to say something?
It's Joyce, not Montana. We are using her phone.
Okay.
So I wanted to say that that dignity, that is the self-respect, it first of all has to start with you so that others can respect you.
Yes.
The self-worth have to start with you first.
Okay. Now we go to the positive side, no? Because we have spoken about how to lose your dignity. And then we say that dignity starts with us. We have our self-respect. We have our own value. We have our own self-worth. So if these are undermined, then our dignity will also be affected. Now, the opposite is the positive side. How can you gain more dignity? How can you enhance your dignity? Because the other side is negative. No, we should not do this, we should not do that, we should not insult, or we should. The other side is because we are all born with dignity. Even a 1-year-old or a 5-month baby is born with dignity. Everybody, every human being, every part of creation has dignity, different levels of dignity. Now, as human beings, we have the highest form in this planet. We are the highest of beings. How can we, therefore, understanding our self-worth, our value, our dignity, how can we put it on a higher level, that dignity? Because dignity is not passive. Any comment?
I don't have a comment. Lidwina, can I try?
Yes, yes.
Like when you understand yourself, when I know what I am and my weaknesses and my strength, that is how I can enhance my dignity. Yeah, when I understand myself first, when I know myself first, so that also I can be able to understand others. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is what I think.
Mm-hmm. Very powerful, very, very deep. Yeah. Very true indeed.
Mm-hmm. Just figured a way of what we were trying to do was self-evaluation, right?
Self-evaluation.
And we were using the Reggio Emilia way of looking at, I attended a seminar before when the professors from Italy, they came here for early childhood education, Reggio Emilia. And they clarified for me so wonderfully in that one seminar, right? What evaluation means, you know, it's the word is value.
Yes.
You evaluate, but it's not to condemn you, you know, it's not to measure you, it's to enhance your valuation. So now every time you see the word evaluation, for me it changed from that day. So this reminds me, and if you have the courage to basically say I have weaknesses, and you also don't have a false humility, right? Bernie, we wrote about that too, right? False humility. So then you also acknowledge you have strength and you have gifts. It means you have the maturity, you know. You have a humility inside you. That's very important, right? For self-evaluation and improvement. And if you don't have a mechanism inside you, right? In many ways, you're actually in denial. You just say, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, because you don't dare to confront who you are and where you are exactly right now. Not what your parents say, not what your sisters say, not what anybody say, but not yesterday, not 10 years ago, you know. There's no point, Bernie and I telling you what we did in our youth even, right? The reality now is the dignity of ourselves today. What we did in the past doesn't even matter. What we're going to do in the future doesn't matter. But today, say we turn up and we conduct this, right? That's how we're living our dignity. And we're very concrete. Did it go well? Did it not go well? How do we improve the next time? So it's this kind of discipline. And it is a discipline and it is a practice. It's a practice of excellence almost, you know, but not in the getting successful way, but it's a self practice. So that's when I hear what Lidwina say, I'm happy, because for me it needs to be concrete. If there's no concreteness, you are not relating to the world yet. You're just relating in your head and in your heart, in your feelings and emotions. But if you want to really be living in the world as a highest level of human presence, then it is really the concreteness.
Very powerful also. So who else wants to speak? How to enhance our dignity? Is by understanding one is understanding ourselves. If we understand ourselves, we can also understand others. Then another person says self-evaluation. What if my self-evaluation is fake? What if my self-evaluation is fake? Because there are many people who really don't want to go inside and discover their real self. What happens if my self-evaluation is not authentic? Self-evaluation is not enough because we can also deceive ourselves, no? As mentioned by Ping An, we can be in denial of our real selves. What happens if you step back, you judge yourself, and you're judging yourself? What happens? What do you see?
I think I have something to...
It's a very tricky thing, huh? This self-evaluation.
Go ahead, Joyce. And after that, Litwina can try too.
Okay, I have something to say. I think you can attain your dignity by, first of all, knowing that you cannot be another person, such that you know you are your own person. You cannot be like that person. Maybe you see she is respected with other people. She is good in everything she does. So you first of all, you first know that you are unique in your own way, so that you can be able to love yourself just the way you are, and you have the self-confidence, and you have the capability in you. Yeah.
Yes. That's all. Accept yourself as you really are, and love yourself as you really are. But what happens if after discovering your real self, you are not prepared to show yourself as you really are? What happens? Because we see a lot of stories where people, we discover later on, they are not the real. They're very unreal because they project what they want to be known. So what happens if you're unable to accept yourself as you really are?
So I think that depends on a person choice. You choose what you want to do. So many people, the people are different, and so they tend to think differently. So you can choose to do the right thing, you can choose to do the wrong thing. So it all depends on you, the person, the individual. Yes, that's all.
Yes, okay. It depends on you. But does it really depend on you alone?
Bunny, I have something to say.
Who is you?
Lidwina.
Lidwina, okay. Okay, go ahead.
When you realize that you're fake, first you have to face the truth.
When you realize you're fake. But that takes courage, you know. It takes courage to realize that you're fake.
Yeah, but all along, we all have questions. Like, we all have that inner thing that tells you, this is not you, you know, and you can do it for so long. But first, you have to face the truth. To accept that I'm doing this, you know, all this is caused by when you want to impress a person, you know, like just like you said, what will you do when you realize that all that you're doing is not real? It has to have its cost. Is it true? So when you maybe let me give an example with me. I'm a girl, and you know we are stubborn, and I want to impress my dad. I have to be on my best behavior. I have to pretend that I'm good so that I can impress him. But when he releases me out of his house, I'll have to unveil what I am, you know. And you see, that was all brought up by my dad because I wanted to impress him. So first I want to accept the truth that I am not real, so that I can go to the next step, that I need help. Do you agree with me?
Correct,
so
correct. Yeah.
I think we all need to face the truth.
Yes.
The first stage is the truth.
Yes. And sometimes the truth hurts.
True. I agree with you. Very much.
and Bernie has kindly stretched out the facing the truth in 7 steps.
That is why people are fake, because they cannot accept the truth, because the truth is painful.
True, very much. And even it leads to death. People kill themselves because of truth.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a hard thing to do, but it takes courage.
It takes courage, but you're feeling inside, how do you feel when you show your true self? How do you feel?
Guilty and very...
Guilty?
You undermine yourself, yeah.
You feel guilty when you show your true self?
Yeah, because oh God, I'm speechless. That word is not coming. You'll feel guilty because, like, if I was faking myself for my dad, I'd feel very shameful. So that guilt will eat me over. Yeah.
Okay, who can say that? Who can challenge that? When you see yourself, when you show yourself as you really are, you will feel guilty. That is one perspective. Who can challenge that? Because there is no right or wrong answer in these conversations. No, it's the way you think, it's the way you reflect, it's your own point of view. But some are universal truths. It's not your point of view. Some are universal. For example, you have to have your value yourself, your self-esteem. Those are unchallengeable. But when you speak and you show yourself as you really are, you feel guilty. That's one angle. Who can challenge that? It's a very tricky thing, huh? What about Rinka? What do you think?
So I have...
Okay. About what?
She says that when you show your real self, you feel guilty.
Honestly, I don't feel guilty when I show my real self, because being as myself means don't make myself as someone, or and I can be myself. So for me, making myself as myself means kind of like having a combination of freedom.
Yes. Yes.
So, can I share my concept of dignity? I need.
So that is the exact opposite, because one says when you show yourself as you really are, you feel guilty. The other opposite is when you show yourself as you really are, you are set free. You are free.
Yeah, I'll be thinking it as and I don't have to be someone because it's myself. So I'd like to know why people think it's as guilty more.
You want to know why?
And more.
Yeah, ask Lidwina. Have a chat with her. We can listen.
Okay, you can elaborate on your thoughts, Lidwina.
Yeah. And hello, baby. Please, you're most welcome to join our youth stewardship program or baby stewardship program.
She's disturbing me.
No, let her join in. It's okay. We will keep to baby level discussions too, baby safe discussions.
I want to elaborate myself, but also I agree with my friend. I've not understood her name. I'll get it as we move on. I agree with her. First, when you reveal yourself, you're set free. True. But also you'll have that inner guilt that you failed. You failed someone. I think you have, right. Yeah, that thing that will tell you failed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is what I can say.
Yeah. So it's just a surface that you say you feel guilty. Yeah, guilty not because you said the truth, but guilty because you fooled someone.
Yeah.
So thanks for the clarification, because that's a very that is a very ambiguous statement.
But it's failed.
Yeah.
Not fooled.
You failed
someone
by showing your real self.
Yeah.
Yes, very good, very good. So Rinka, thank you very much for your clarification also. It clarified the doubts because I was a little worried, no, to show yourself as you really are makes you feel guilty. Oh, then we have to have more lessons on dignity. Yeah.
So I want to link it back to Alan. You used the word forgiveness, right? And somebody had said repeatedly, Joyce, on self-love, right? Yeah, so maybe the evaluation I was talking about, it's really about loving, not indulging, but loving yourself, right? So it's in loving yourself, I think there is a lot of forgiveness that's really required. Because we cannot expect ourselves to fail, in life. All of us, I think it's almost the only path to acquiring humility almost,
Yes.
Because if we don't fail, or if we don't even let ourselves fail, we're not living. Because you can't grow without failing. You can't make a discovery without failing.
Yes.
So the skill or the ability, right, to be able to truly look at the situation. I mean, remorse is a really horrible emotion to feel, It's almost like I don't even want to try anything, because going through guilt and remorse, right? A true remorse, right? Is really, really difficult. But it's something we all have to be able to get through with a very, very good and loving and positive attitude. If somebody in our lives, a mentor, a very kind elder who can take us through it, of course, we're very lucky or very blessed. But if there's no one around in your life who can at the moment be able to carry you through, your own failures, and we have failures. We cannot say we don't have failures. We have it. Then what Alan has said regarding a quality of dignity, which is forgiveness, right, is very, very big. So if you can get to a point where you can forgive yourself, you will be able to then get to a point where you can forgive others as well. And I think that's a very powerful quality.
So can I just summarize what we have been talking about? Right? So dignity is not self-taught 100%. Because all the time we have been saying, I have self-evaluation, I value myself, I have self-esteem, I have self-respect. It's always centering on I, right? But you just mentioned right now one statement, you say, no one around. If no one around to help us, so what happens to our dignity? Dignity is not self-taught 100%. We need other people to help us gain more dignity. And that's why this is the second milestone is dignity. We need others. We need other people to help us gain more dignity. You gain more dignity by the parents you have. You have a good, authentic friend who can tell you straight to the face what you need to hear, even sometimes it's painful. You need a mentor to help you have that dignity. So all of us need other people to help us acquire that, what we call formation of dignity. So congratulations, you all understand when you have to improve your dignity and when you have to have the courage, no matter what happens around us, that your dignity is not lost. No matter what happens around us, because dignity is inside of us. It is not from the outside, it's inside. So because it's inside, we cannot detach ourselves from our dignity. It's like when you remove your dignity, you're dead. When a person's dignity is removed, that person is almost like dead. No? That's why people suffer when the dignity is undermined or when the dignity is trampled upon. So congratulations. Now what we have to do is to acquire that dignity, we need other people to help us to gain more dignity. Because as somebody said, no man is an island. And dignity will remain for us forever and getting bigger and bigger. All right. So what's the next part of the program, Ping An?
Thank you, Bunny. That was so deep and so good. Thank you for always reinforcing.
It all comes from all of you, no?
I know, it's beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
We learn every session is very different.
Yeah.
So so this is how the program works. So then after dignity, then there's the next third milestone. So we hope that all the youth stewards have the same consistency in learning these 7 milestones, because it's very powerful. It's going to be very powerful to support yourself, very powerful to support yourself as youth stewards. And then also when you're now going to be working together, okay, I'm going to open for Justin to share with us our group project. So because when you work together, then you have to have a common understanding. And our dream is really to have our own summer school that is actually designed by youths, you know, like yourselves, and for other youths and children, or even the older adults, because the world has changed a lot. And I think it's the energy and the voice of the youth that can really frame what we require for this decade forward and the rest of the century. So when Bernie and I and Washima and Saif were looking and developing this program, we had said to ourselves, you know, what is most important? It's not really all the tools and the skills and all that. Bernie said, Peng An, formation. Formation is from this, okay? So we hope that, you know, that this gets internalized, and we then have a structure that we can also very easily be able to share with, you see, this dignity, like Bernie said, it's in all of us. You don't need extra money or anything or resources to be able to acquire it, right? Right.
Sorry, I don't have an account with the Sorry, I don't have an account. Yeah.
Tiny is probably getting a telesales call. So she's too polite. I will just turn it off. But never mind. So where was I? Yeah. So I was saying that one of the things we said to the cohort one is we are our own resource, every single one of us. So that's why our foundation of Bilberries Blue, the youth stewardship program, right, is on formation, because it is something we already have. We don't need to say, oh, it's because we don't have this, therefore we cannot do anything, or therefore we cannot be youth stewards. What the central foundation of this is we already have it. We are our own resource. Okay, so we don't wait for something material to happen before we can really basically do the work we want to do for the world. Okay, so Justin, take it away. So Justin is on our youth stewards editorial board. Rika, if you and Jimin would like to join this, please let us know. We will add you to a separate group channel. And for the Kim Leah girls, we can have 2 representing the Kim Leah girls to join onto the youth editorial board. So if you love to write, if you love journalism, if you like to write, tell stories through multimedia, so there's a lot of work on like post-production, maybe taking the videos from our recording and turning it into shorter videos, creating content. Then you volunteer for this team. If you don't like it, don't jump in, because you won't like it. So it's very, very detailed. Like you have to be very attentive to details, to the communication, to the publication. So we're looking for 2, and you just let me know, then we will add you to the editorial board. Okay, so for one of the first projects, Justin and Victor is from Children's Garden Home. I don't know why he's not here today, but Justin and him are doing a music video. Okay, Justin, you explain to everybody. Your audio is not working, Justin.
Hello? 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 Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hello. Okay, so I'm Justin from Malaysia. Sorry for the technical issue just now. We are working on a project. It's a music cover. We are covering a song called "Someone to You," and I'm going to do guitar strumming, and Victor are going to sing. So, but for now, it's just 2 of us. I hope more of you can join. Either if you know more musical instrument like violin or ukulele, or even guitar lily, or if you can sing, then feel free to be part of us. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Justin. If someone knows how to dance, can they dance?
Yeah, sure. You're welcome.
Sorry, I had to step out. Justin, do you fix it? Justin,
Hello.
How's your audio?
Hello. Can you hear me? Sorry. Oh.
I can't hear you. Sorry, I had a different earpiece on. Hello, try again, Justin. Okay, Natasha, while Justin is and Ellen, while Justin is fixing his audio, Ellen, Natasha, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you want to share about BB Lighthouse?
Okay. So we are actually setting up a place in Spectra where we are working with the 5 special needs students, and so how we are doing that is that we are planning activities, if I'm not wrong, for the students at Spectra, as well as spreading joy, love, care, and concern for the students, for the 5 special needs students. Yeah.
Tasha, do you have any slides or anything you can show? You can put on share screen. Maybe you can look at one of your old presentations. Maybe you can share with everybody here. Ellen, do you have anything to share about the group project, the BB Lighthouse?
I think BB Lighthouse is one of the project we're starting on because we talk about hope, ambition, and love. Even we talk about share I can about studying you see BB Lighthouse keeper. No, I mean BB Lighthouse adventure.
Okay, so you said hope, right?
Yes, hope.
Yeah. So can you tell us how do you plan to share love, hope, and care, like the way Tasha has explained? So for this group project session, essentially the group project leaders will present their progress. They will also then invite the group to brainstorm. Okay, so Ellen, maybe you want to now take the opportunity to ask the group, right, for some ideas for sharing love, care, and hope, or maybe you want to get some feedback regarding special needs or people who think very differently, learn very differently. Maybe you want to have this session to be able to get some feedback and deepen some of your ideas.
I see that. I see. Sure. But actually, you get to remove wise I able we can make decision to get as well.
You can say that again, Ellen. I missed that.
Okay, remove wise. What?
Can you type for me, Ellen? I can't quite catch what you're saying. Tasha, how are you doing with something that you're going to present?
Can it be the ones that I did with Hokkaido?
Perfect. The storytelling, yes. Perfect.
The storytelling?
Anything. So they can get an idea of what BB Lighthouse means. What kind of activities are you all doing? And how are you planning your program? So communication is very important, that you bear in mind the empathy of the other. Okay, so Ellen and Tasha, this group has no idea what BB Lighthouse is. So even if you describe it, they cannot understand, they cannot visualize it. So what visuals do you have that you can share with this group? Okay, you got it, Ellen, yes. And then for the others, Can you imagine that we kickstarted or founded this BB Lighthouse during COVID through Zoom with Alan and Tasha? I started the Zoom meeting with Alan and Tasha and Benjamin. Remember Ben? Yep. When I said, oh, we got to shift gear last year, and all of us didn't know how to use Zoom then. And we were basically building step by step. Okay, Alan? And Alan is typing to everybody. Human right, Alan, thank you so much. Okay. We talked to ambassador to plan. So we discovered Alan has a lot of ideas, huh, Alan? Okay. So Alan, can you share something on share screen? I'll let you. Yeah. So Alan and Tasha actually went with me to set a series of getting feedback from community leaders. We call it the BB Open Studios, So Alan, I'm just giving you time to look for stuff. So when I'm talking, you quickly go and look for stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So Justin is back. So we're going to toggle like this, okay? Justin is back. Justin, your project. So it looks a bit like CNN, I'm like shift gear to, okay, what's happening in this studio? What's happening in that project? Ben, get ready for your private project too. Okay, Justin.
Okay, so
reporting from Malaysia on.
Okay. Just now, where was I? I think I have explained to them about the project we are working on. Just now, I think someone was asking about one question. Is it about dancing? Hello.
Yes, you are asking if dancing can be allowed.
Yeah. Dancing is allowed.
Oh, okay.
I strongly encourage you to do it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the Someone to You project is a dance video. Why dance? Dance is because a lot of the children and youths with different needs, who are very unique, very different from much of us, right? Is that speech is a very difficult human faculty, actually. It takes a long time, and nobody, even the speech therapists, can really understand why and how complex it is. So I have a son with trisomy 21, so that's Down syndrome. Okay, so from birth, we were doing a lot of early intervention. But what I discovered was it was not, you cannot teach speech and language to a child. The meaning can only come, and Ben is nodding. Okay, so Ben understands this because he reads English, right? Literature. So the meaning has to be living. So, and speech, the words itself was very, very hard to come because it somehow cannot come out, So what we did was we did signing. And signing bypasses that, and so we went straight into communication and connection. So when you're working with children or special children, essentially this is the first thing you want to do, right? How do you allow that child to be able to speak back to you, or even infants who don't have words yet, So then dance for me was my discovery with Keith. We dance together and we speak together through dance. So I said to him, and then one day we stumbled upon this song, Someone to You. And I saw that and he could relate to it, right? So, and so I thought of this idea where if you look at the lyrics and then you dance a particular phrase of the lyrics, and if everybody dance that particular phrase for say 1 minute, 3 minutes, 1 minute, okay, then Justin will do, then we can then put it all together. It becomes our music video. Put together collectively, we are all going to dance this song. Okay. And then Justin is going to make the song. He's going to make a cover of the song. Okay, Justin, over to you to explain.
Hello. Okay. So the cover of the song, basically, there's just a guitar with me now. So maybe if you guys have other instrument, you are welcome to join us. I'm trying to borrowing other instruments from my friends. So, but they haven't come to campus yet. So maybe there will be some delay on completing this project. But you guys are welcome to join. Yeah.
So Justin, you are going to play the guitar. You've already found the score. You already played the melody. You tried it already. Do you have your guitar with you today? See how fun this is? Huh?
I returned back to my friend.
Oh, you returned it back. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then how are you going to record it?
I'll record it through phone, and then I'll use Adobe Premiere to denoise it. Yeah,
okay.
Like removing the background sounds.
Okay, so don't forget we're going to take your song cover and I'm going to put it into DistroKid. So DistroKid is this platform where I have an account with it, and I have 5 bands that we can form. And essentially the DistroKid will take the song and distribute it to like Spotify and Apple and all that. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a real production. Okay. So in the cohort one, we have formed a band called Peace Rose, right? So this is what we're going to do. This is going to be the first single of Peace Rose, you know. So Justin, you might want to look around for a real recording studio, okay?
Okay,
you are going to be on Spotify essentially, and Apple Music and Amazon, and even in France, because I tried it last year and my song went all around the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is real. Okay, so then Victor is going to sing, or are you going to sing?
Victor is going to sing. Yeah.
Okay, Victor is going to sing. So he is going to do the same. He has to be able to record the song quality. Okay, so that means you will record first, then you pass it to him.
Mm-hmm.
He will sing separately, or he will sing and record his voice and your song?
He will sing separately, then we will use a video editor to combine. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So there is any of you make all these movies? Do any of you into like making? Okay, so how it happens in the back end of the movie making is essentially you have the music, and then you have the visual tracks, you have the video tracks, and then you have the sound audio tracks, right? Then so Justin's track will be the music, and then Victor will be the voice. Now I did spoken word, so we want to stretch this song production a little bit, Justin. So you can also intersperse different sounds, percussions and all that. Okay, yeah. So if anybody wants to contribute the drumming, for example, you know, or any percussion music, you can also send to Justin. So that's how you can layer and see what's nice. So then it'll be song. So we can keep it simple as the first project first, like that. Okay. Anything else? Okay, then the dance clips, Justin, you also so I have everybody post it into the channels by cohort. Then I will send it to the editorial group. Okay, I'll just compile it one go like this. So that's how I'm going to coordinate. So if you see, when you work together in Zoom, you have to be able to layer your work into work streams very well and communicate to each party. And then you have to have a system to remember who is doing what. And as what Bernie has said, you know, you have the tools, you have the skills, right? To be able to be a very good orchestra leader, coordinating everyone, you actually need to know each of the work streams. Like the orchestra master knows, the maestro knows each of the sounds. That's why you can say this one goes louder, this one goes softer. Okay. So if you can't remember, I always tell people sometimes you can't remember, and you see, I don't have a very good memory, so I write everything down. Otherwise, or rather our human memory cannot have. So these are some of the techniques that you have to develop. So even this first session is so intense, right? It's deliberate because we're stretching everybody's resilience and tenacity. And you look at Bernie, the way she focuses, like she focuses for 3 hours, then she summarizes by one sentence and it captures everything, you know. So you want to develop this kind of focus as well. Okay, and you track it by writing down. Okay. Anything else, Justin, on your project? No? Okay. So it's underway. It's very good. Okay. We will shift to Natasha. How are you doing? Have you found anything?
Would it be okay if I show them the letter to myself, which Honkai has asked me and Ellen to do?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. 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 So the title is What Gives Me Hope, which is the letter to myself, which is what Honkai has, one of our BB lighthouse keepers, Honkai has asked Ellen and myself to do the first week that the three of us were working together. So the title is What Gives Me Hope. So, okay. So, number one is what makes me sad or angry. Nothing, it makes me both sad and angry. When I see any of my family members or friends being bullied, I think I'll explain that part later on. Because I have been in that situation before in my primary and secondary school. Although my family members and friends, they do explain to me that they're not being bullied. The moment I think that they're being bullied, it makes me really sad and angry. So the next question is, who do I think of when I feel sad or angry? Normally I do the things I love doing, which are my hobbies, which are listening to my music, playing with my soft toys, coloring, doing my aqua beads, playing with my jigsaws, and doing one of my art sets, because I really enjoy doing things like this. Next question. What gives me hope? It gives me hope that my family members are explaining to me that they are not being bullied. So question number 4 is, why does it give me hope? It gives me hope because I really don't want any of my family members or my friends getting bullied or misunderstood by anybody, because I seriously feel that nobody deserves to be bullied or misunderstood. Okay. Then movies I love to watch. Honkai asked us to put this one in as well. Movies I love to watch. I enjoy watching musicals such as The Sound of Music, Annie, Sister Act 1 and Sister Act 4, Les Miserables, Oliver Twist, West Side Story, Matilda, and Mary Poppins. Well, I do enjoy watching some of my live shows. And one of the live shows some of the live shows I enjoy watching is How Do You Solve a Problem Like Mary, which is a British reality television show that is documented for the undiscovered musical theatre to perform the role of Maria Von Trapp in 2006 in Andrew Lloyd Webber's and David Ian's stage production of The Sound of Music. Now, the other two live shows is the same procedure, but one is for the role of Nancy, and the other one is for the role of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, you see. So, but it's the exact same procedure. It's the three live shows that I like watching. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. I'm very fascinated with this live show, Natasha. I haven't watched it myself. Yeah, I know. I'm a little behind. Natasha, maybe we can help stop the share screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here.
You're trying to do that. Okay. So, well, Natasha is trying to, yes. Okay. Tasha, do you have any questions for everybody in response to your presentation or your sharing?
No.
Nothing? Does anybody have any response or comments or questions? No?
I do. I like her presentation because she's not the only one who feels angry at times. Same as well. I do listen to music when I'm angry and it cools me up. Yes.
Okay. Tasha, you got any response to Beatrice, right?
Pardon?
Did you hear what Beatrice said?
No, sorry, could you repeat that, please?
I like your presentation because same as well, when I feel, at times when I feel angry, I just listen to music and it helps me to cool up.
Yes. I do the same. I definitely do the same. Along with my other stuff, I do the same.
So
definitely.
So Tasha and Beatrice, are you able to come up with a song for us as well next time? Okay, so this is how you make friends, right? When you have somebody who has a similar interest, just share with each other what songs. Okay, why not sing it, but just share next time. Okay, so you have a month to get to know each other on the WhatsApp, and then share with us a couple of songs of how you used to cool off, or what you do, because Bilberries Blue Lighthouse is about that, right? Where you can come together and share things with each other and find a sanctuary. Okay. Ellen, is your presentation ready, Ellen?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So now.
You want to share screen?
See my work. So first it was up to fulfill myself. In me, we are dream. I work up for a dream. I refer I said love, where happy. I think of fulfill myself. Yeah, about being happy with myself and others. Remember, we always think or happy place or everything or even people who make us happy. So second, seeing myself in Switzerland, I am very happy inside, And then I went in when I been I found what is the liking. It's very surprising, very nice, Number two, it was out love me to us, love me everything to me, but I said to choose love. When we say we love someone, love me because it's about each other, we respect each other. I also are important to each other. For example, when I say I love my mother, I mean she is very important to me. I care about her, and she also care about me. She respects me, and I also respect her. When we say we love using our brain or doing an activity, I mean love is me passion and expression. Can we enjoy something? For example, when I say I love watching movie, which one I think Jamie, I adore them, and they make me feel very happy. Love is everywhere. I love it. I hope you'll never die. Every day I love singing, or the teaching class, drumming with piano, and also talking to my mommy and family. I also love to message to my friends. Let me see with the college. That's my work.
Fantastic, Alan. I love your work. You're all exploring a fulfilled mindset. So Bilberries Blue Lighthouse Keepers are exploring a fulfilled mindset. Okay. So this is some of the work that they are doing together. So just to give a flavor of the work. And we hope that this group too will start writing your reflections like this. Very simple, from the heart. It doesn't have to be big essays or whatever, you know. So this is how you will practice having your voice, put in your pictures and share. So after today, in 1 month, at the next session, if you want to share your any reflections on dignity, please send in. You know, we have wonderful writings from the cohort 1 regarding many things, and we are going to be publishing that. Okay, so that's what the editorial board is for as well. Alan, wonderful. Anybody has any response and comments regarding Alan's work? Anything? Okay, we will just keep moving. Alan, super solid, loving it. Okay, yes, Ben is clapping. All right, Ben, you're on next. Share us a poem from the book that you've written or you're writing. Just share with us some of your writings, and we would love for you to read a poem for us today, your own poem.
Oh, okay. It's been
and tell everybody what you do, what you're pursuing right now.
Okay, it's actually been a while since I've written a poem. Okay, so hi, I'm Ben. I'm an English student at NTU, Nanyang Technological University. I'm in my final year. Currently, what I'm doing right now is this thing called a final year project. It's my sort of like a thesis of sorts, and that currently my final year project is basically is collection of short stories centered around the environment in Singapore. But that's not all. I mean, I also have some more personal writings that I try to engage in about happenings in Singapore, sometimes just personal thoughts, sort of like an outlet for my thoughts and experiences. Yeah. But yeah, so how do I say this? So the thing, to tell the truth, I haven't written poetry or in a bit because I've been focusing on the final year project. But I guess one of the things, that like with Auntie Peng An, how we actually like got the contact with one another was through this thing, this collection of poems I was trying to make about Japan, or my experience there. So far, that's a bit. It's here and there so far. It's still in development, but right now I also think it needs a lot more work. But it's kind of a personal thing right now. It's a very personal collection, so yeah.
So you can't share it?
No, it's not that I can't share it, but I still feel it's very.
Okay. So now that you have met Chimin and Rinka, might be quite interesting to get their feedback on what they think about your poems, because it's about Japan. So as Ben has rightly said, poetry or a poem is always a work in progress. The poet always never feels that it's complete. At some stage, somebody has to stop the poet. Okay, it's a bit like art as well. There is such a thing as overworking the canvas. Ben, I thought they're fantastic, but he's right. What we do as a practice as poets is once we've written it, we edit it. We look at it and then we send it around. There are things like poetry workshops where you send around and everyone comments. When I was in Boston for a year, it was wonderful. We had a group and everyone would bring one poem, and then we would just really go around the room, you know, and we can feel ourselves grow as a poet, a writer, and it's very useful. So I hope you have the courage to read one at least, then you can have a feel of what it feels like to be in a poetry workshop. No, I thought it was really quite fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like fully finished, you know. The idea of this personal atelier workshop time is you can say hello. Yeah, say hello. See our friends. Yeah, Ellen is there. That's Ben, that's Auntie Bernie, and our new friends from Kenya. On your way, this is Key. Yeah. So Ben, pull one up. Consider this a workshop practice. So it's the same if you're writing a song or writing, making an artwork. You know, Tasha will always show us. So when you get feedback, you grow. You know, it's a practice. And then during the feedback session, it was very funny. Not feedback, kind of, I don't know, a workshop session. The person who's created the work is not allowed to say anything. So you cannot defend it. You cannot explain it, because the work is supposed to speak itself, right? You know, so that was kind of like the simple rule that we had. And we will always have gentle critique. We don't like critiques that tear people down and all that. Okay, so Ben, read us something. It's a safe environment, although it's kind of public.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Come on, let's go.
You mind if I share it on the screen?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, can you see it?
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the poems I kind of wrote. I'll just zoom in on it so you guys can see it better. It's okay. So yeah, was one of the first poems I wrote about my experience in Japan. This was when I came out of the plane. It was just a very weird experience. So for some reason, it kind of shook me for some reason. And yeah, this is what came out when I just sat down and just decided to write about it. So yeah, it's called On the First Step. So I guess I'll just read it aloud. Okay. So on the first step, I see sakura petals on the floor, scattered to welcome the jet-lagged tourists and explorers returning home who stalk out of the plane with me in such sick ball. Not pink, but gray on the carpet floor, the petals lie, petrified a more shadowy shade, to invigorate them for permanence, rather than the weaker, simpering, meddling eyes. Like dead souls, they are trampled over by everyone, and I smirk at my mawkishness and tread lightly over the carpet, avoiding what lies on the floor. Yeah. And so basically, when I first came out of the plane, there was this kind of like, the first thing that welcomed everyone was this carpet that had a pattern of sakura petals. And it was a very weird shade of gray, which kind of struck me, like, because sakura petals, if I remember correctly, they are usually scattered on roads to welcome certain forms of travelers, as a sign of respect. I don't know, the different colors have different meanings, if I recall, but yeah, it's quite different from the pink that I always saw sakura petals as. So I thought, okay. But then while I was just like busy admiring the floor, everyone else was just like walking over it like it was no one's business. And I was like, oh, am I the only one just looking at these petals on the floor? Then I felt very sheepish about it and tried to pretend and walk with the rest of my family away, thinking like, okay. Yeah, so that's basically my experience there that I tried to translate into the poem. So yeah.
Hi, Benjamin. I really like your poem.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any?
So when I first received Ben's draft manuscript, I was just blown away, Ben, you know, because it's very concrete and the mood is there for me. And I would never forget this poem the next ever, because if I see Sakura, I will remember this poem. So that's how powerful the work is. And it's a you're kind of I do look on the floor. So next time, even if I see anything gray, I would actually remember your sharing today. So thank you so much, you know. Yeah, but share us another one, and then we can oh, Montana is going to speak.
And then we don't know what sakura flowers are, because obviously we don't have such flowers. But then I could still relate to the poem because of the thing about the gray lifeless souls. So I guess also it's beautiful because I don't know what sakura flowers are. But like I can still relate to what you've written. And anyway, it's also made me want to Google what sakura flowers are now.
So, okay, just another one, I guess, but okay.
Yeah, just one more, Ben. Then after that, every session you can read us one. It's like to close, you know, yeah. And so you, as you read also, poetry is there's the concrete poetry, which is visual, but primarily poetry is auditory. So when you practice reading it, you are also actually hearing how it sounds like. And that's also how you can take that as a feedback for you to work on your poem. Okay.
Okay, so I guess this is the next poem I'll share. It's called Japan Syndrome. Basically, the name is based on this actual condition that people have. Basically, a while back, there was this very idealized vision of what Japan was, and then people from Japan had this very idealized vision of what France was in the past. So when Japanese tourists went to France and they were so disappointed by what they saw in France, they actually got into this sort of cultural shock, this shell shock that left them very, I won't say traumatized, but very, very like struck. They were just so disappointed by what France actually looked like compared to their idealized vision of it, that they just felt, they just kind of had this psychological reaction. So yeah, so this poem is sort of like a response to that. Like this, my first time going to Japan, hearing about this high-tech business city full of polite people, good food, everything, and I guess the vision sort of matches like what I saw, but there was a lot of things that were glossed over, especially in all the tourist pamphlets. So yeah, this is kind of my poem. What the poem's about. So I guess I'll just read it. Yeah, so Japan Syndrome. Did anyone really think so truly that the Japan in those magazines was not unruly? Of course, there are crowds in stations at dawn and disgruntled ticket inspectors who shout at tourists cutting into wrong lines. Yet the tenacity, the need to fawn over cutesy cut cafes with critters to ignore the humans agonizing like they do too? What war of wits is this? Amidst the bedlam, I can't help but think of those Japanese that fell in France, convulsing with sundry shrieking, glowing with battle-worn rapture. I wonder what they envisioned before they were snubbed in the language of love they tried to capture, in mock-ups of warmly lit bistros and pages of fashionable French folks conveniently clothed. Oh well, I suppose my turn will come when I return home after seeing that BBC article or some bold online blarney both agreeing that the Lion City is such a ball. And like old Sang Nila Utama with his guff, I will hallucinate the Gaul that dressed the tiger in a bluff. But that is not to say things are bad, but do no tourists can be sad. Yeah. Yeah, kind of wordy. Yeah.
And ironic. No, sarcasm, I think.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess for that last part, like I guess the last part needs a bit of explanation. Like Sang Nila Utama, like he is basically in Singapore. He is sort of seen as the founder, at least the person who named Singapore. According to legend, like when he alighted on Singapore, he saw a lion, or at least he saw a creature that looked like a lion. Then they decided to name this island where I live Singapura, or Lion City. But then, of course, there are no lions in Singapore or around the region. There never have been any. So the question is, what did Sang Nila Utama actually see? And the other question is, why do we uphold this legend of that he saw a lion in the first place? So yeah, okay. So yeah, just like how all the Japanese people who went to France and were just taken in by that myth of what France, this grand like vision of this romantic France, I guess in a sort of a parallel, there's this whole idea of Singapore being this mythical lion city, and then in fact it's just this big illusion, I guess. Yeah, but we still uphold it lah. We have like actually all the tourism does that. Like we have the Merlion, that lion and fish. Like one of our mascots is also a lion. I think there was this tourist mascot. There was this cartoony lion also. Yeah. Sure, if you go in Singapore, you see a lot of lions, basically. Yeah, and we kind of like adopted it as a national animal, despite the fact we don't have lions. So yeah, there's that myth there. So yeah, that's the poem.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. It's quite true. There are no lions in Singapore. I had a dream to set up a bookshop that says there are no hedgehogs in Singapore, so we could replace hedgehogs with lions. All right. It's 4:30 now. Ben, maybe if you can help us stop the share screen.
Sure. Yes. Let me just stop share. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a photo. So Ben, thank you so much. We really enjoyed your poem. Poetry really cannot be explained. It can only be felt when the poet is reading, and the extra is always when the poet is reading, isn't it, guys? When the poet tells the story behind it and all that. So that's why we also have such a thing as spoken word session or poetry reading, you know. It is very powerful. And once you get used to it, you can host it in Kim Leah as well, you know, poetry reading or spoken word. So you can see the way I'm hosting it. It's just like that. And then everybody takes turns, and the poet gets on stage and or stands where he or she is and reads the poem. And you saw how Ben did it. It's a very vulnerable experience, I tell you, so I can understand what Ben was feeling through just now. Same with Tasha and Ellen, wonderful work of sharing. And it's always helpful if you have a PowerPoint slide, if you're not sure, you write it down, then you can just read from it at the start. If you're not sure, if sometimes the nerves get the better of you and things don't come out, or, you know, so you have to practice it. When you practice it, you can only get better. Okay?
Auntie Ping.
Yes, Tasha.
You remember I said in my presentation that I think what I mean by that is, I'll explain it. I did have some teachers and friends who were picking on me. They didn't understand that I had Kabuki syndrome at all. which is why I say that I don't want my family members or friends to the same thing to happen to them. That's what I meant.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you for sharing that. I guess you want your new friends to share this. How should I say that? Your experience with them and your I not so much history, but your stand, I guess, on bullying, on bullying, right? The subject of being bullied. Yeah. So thanks, Tasha. I hope you fix your video soon, Tasha, so that your friends can see who you are, how you look like.
Soon.
Yes.
I work on it.
Yeah. So I guess our experiences inform who we are, but we, like Bernie has always said, we don't let the past harden us or make us bitter. It can only make us better, right? And sweeter. And that's our choice, isn't it? Yeah. So it's a 4:30. If maybe we go, Bernie, I let you summarize and close. But before we do that, maybe if we can take a photo. I forgot to take a photo. Ellen, I'm going to assign you as the photographer for every session, okay? Take it at the start, take it at the middle, and take it at the end, all right? Otherwise, we're going to miss everybody. Okay, take a picture, everybody. Smile. Test, Faith, when turn on the phone. So turn on your video.
My video still isn't working.
Yeah, you gotta fix it. All right, okay. Well, it's a very long session, a very amazing session. So, but I'm gonna let Bernie close. But on my side, thank you everybody, right? Bernie? Oh, Bernie, you're on mute.
So these sessions are sessions for us to How come there's an echo?
I'm muting everyone, Bernie. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is a session on what we call the second milestone of our 7-mile journey, which I call dignity. But actually, dignity is not something to talk about. Dignity is something that we all are aware and experience. And we're just reflecting on what it means for us to have that dignity. So we can incorporate that in our day-to-day behavior. The more we are aware of the dignity of others, the more our dignity will be improved. Yeah. So it's a self-discovery on respecting dignity of others, which in the end will be for our own benefit because we will inevitably improve or gain more dignity. Okay, with this, we close this session.
All right, thank you, Bernie, and thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I hope to see you next month. Yeah.
All right, take care, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Well done.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
From